part 2. What is your best advice for a godly marriage?
It sounds so cliche and so simple, but it's so true. Be in the Word. If you're Christians and you want to have a godly marriage, be in the Word every day.
But what is the best advice someone's given you that changed our marriage? Because I'm not going to lie. Like, our first 10 years.
First 10?
10 years were hard. It was hard. And there were times where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, I wasn't going to, like, leave. But it just was like, will this ever get better? Not that it was awful. But there was a point where someone said something to us and it changed our marriage. And what was that thing?
Well, there's been a couple things. But for the husband, I would say, humble yourself and be willing to change, you know?
That's not what I was looking for, but that's good too. You love your spouse and you serve your spouse no matter what. It's unconditional. It doesn't matter if your spouse is serving you and loving you. The Bible tells you to
I know what you're getting at,
love your spouse, not if your spouse is loving you, not if your spouse is doing all the things you've asked them to do, not if there's no clause.
It's not two-way conditional.
It's not.
The verses that say for the husbands to love their wives and for the wives to submit to their husbands, it's unconditional. It doesn't say if your husband is doing this or if your wife is like that. It's just period. So know your responsibilities as the spouse and your role and do it as an act of worship to God. Even if you have a horrible husband or a horrible wife, do what you're supposed to do biblically as an act of worship to God, and you may win the other one over.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's straight from the Bible, so that's not even like that's not like advice that we made ourselves.
How do you handle your anxiety now? I don't have a lot of anxiety now. I have my hormones are more balanced now. I take bioidentical hormones, so I think that really helps a lot. But also I think I'm just in a different place in my faith and in my walk with the Lord, where I just have this settled assurance and comfort that when things are hard, I just like...
That God is in control.
God's in control. And
God is sovereign.
I don't know that I had such a grasp on that before. Now, that's not to say people who have anxiety don't have a grasp on it. Sometimes it's just a physical thing, and I think that was a big part of it for me. But when I do have anxiety, moments of anxiety or more moments of uncontrollable worry, I just make sure that I'll listen to like worship music. I'll make sure I get in my Bible more and read scripture, because that is what calms me, is worship and reading the word. So that's kind of how I handle it if it ever like arises. And then I ask those close to me to be praying for me too. What do you think keeps your marriage strong? Our faith, for sure.
For sure.
Our commitment to God. We made a vow to God that we would stay devoted to each other till death do us part. So that's what keeps us married. That's what keeps us working, is our
I mean, I am not out of this marriage. You'll have to kill me. Literally, I don't care how bad things get. I'm in it. So you have to have that mindset, you know?
How many times do you trim your hair in a year? Hair care regimen. I actually have a video about my hair care regimen. But how many times I trim my hair? I do it every maybe 4 months. I'll do a quick trim. He cuts his hair every
once a week. I reshave my head once a week.
Where did you and your hubby meet? At a wedding. But that'll be in our wedding.
So
that'll be in our marriage video that we post. What are your favorite stores to shop for fashion and home stuff? I'll take this one. Okay. I love TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls, Plato's Closet, thrift stores make me so happy for all of those things. Home stuff, IKEA. He hates IKEA because he hates to put things together. But that's pretty much it. Forever 21, I know I'm a lot older than 21, but they sometimes will have cute stuff for a good price. But I'm not a department store girl. I don't like to buy expensive clothes, or although when we do move into a house one day, I don't want IKEA furniture. I want nice furniture. I want like restoration hardware type style. if we can afford it.
I'm not a big shopper, but I've had my eye on a saddleback
Oh, let's
bag
not talk
lately,
about
like
that right now.
like leather briefcase, and those are online.
Have you always been believers, or did we come to the Lord as adults? And we'll talk more about that in our testimony videos, but we were both brought up in Christian homes that ended up really broken. So we started out young in good Christian homes, but really quickly both of our families fell apart, and we went through some really tough stuff in our families that didn't look like a Christian home anymore.
We both had to come to a point on our own
Yeah.
to really wrestle with what we believe.
So we'll talk about that in a future video. What made me want to start YouTube?
Well, it started with your
With
writing on
my
your blog
blog,
first.
yeah. So it started with my blog, and then I would make videos on YouTube to post on my blog. And then I just found that I was having a greater connection with people through my videos than through blogging. And that I love to talk about beauty and hair and makeup and all that stuff, but more than anything, I just love connecting with other women and just sharing our stories and sharing our lives. And I just feel it brings like the sense of comfort, and that you just feel less alone in what you're going through. And so I just loved that. I love the community, even as small as it is, I still love that community. And so yeah, I started out just because I liked sharing beauty stuff, and then it grew into wanting to share life. Any advice for my first missions trip this summer?
For somebody's first missions trip?
Mm-hmm. Buy your clothes at a thrift store, first of all, because they're going to get dirty.
And go
with no expectations.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Really?
I started to say, I was going to say, go with no expectations.
Yeah.
For anything.
Mm-mm.
Don't even expect to see any special results.
And don't expect to change people's lives or have your life changed.
Just go and experience it.
See what God's going to do. Let God work.
And remember that when you're doing that kind of stuff, that is an act of worship to God. It's not about
the results.
Mm-mm. Okay.
Just going is the worship, not how it turns out. That's all great if great things happen, but going and serving God, that's amazing. You are worshiping, and just enjoy that.
And you will have a good experience.
How long have you been married? 12 years? Almost 12 years in August.
Yeah.
What is it like to be a foster parent?
It's not like being a parent to your own children.
It's not. It's not.
What is it like? It's like I kind of tend to be a protective person, so to me it's fulfilling in that sense, because I feel like I'm protecting
these girls,
these little girls, and I also feel like it's a chance to impact an entire family, because they're going to go back to their families, and you start small with what you can, but I feel like this could impact their family and their extended family. Like, it has the potential to really,
because you're involved with their parents most of the time in a lot of cases, and so it's a great responsibility. It's challenging, it's tiring, but there are so many like beautiful blessings that come from it if you can just stay in that place of worship and knowing, it's like the same thing as going on your missions trip. It's like, this is we are worshiping the Lord through this, and however it turns out, that's up to God. But we look at it as an act of worship. Like,
if you see it like that, like this is a job, this is a little job temporarily that God has given you.
Yeah.
Do a good job with it.
Yeah. What things help motivate you? Does list making or journaling help in motivation?
Well, you're a list maker.
I am a list maker for sure.
You like list making. You like journaling.
I like journaling. I need to have like a to-do list. I like to check things off the list.
For me, what motivates me is there's a particular mindset that I get myself into, and I can do it, and then I can motivate myself.
Yeah.
It's like I try to pretend that I'm a Navy SEAL or something, and I can just go.
Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. How do you handle 4 kids? It's
always well.
Not always well, and it is nonstop from the time we wake up to the time they go to bed.
But routine helps. Yes. If we have a routine and a plan and a regimen,
consistency and routine,
then it's doable. You know what to expect.
Yep, and they know what to expect. Were you guys instantly attracted to each other when you met? You seem like each other's soulmate. No.
Okay. No, you weren't?
No, I did not like you at all.
That's
I mean,
right.
you were
Well,
good
no,
looking,
but
but
before,
I wasn't.
but okay, so
We're not going to get into the story.
we won't get
we'll
into
share
it,
that.
but
Save that.
I did not like Summer at all.
And I did not like him
before
at
I
all.
saw her. Before I saw her, I was like, who? Because I felt like she was a meddler and all this long story. But then as soon as I saw her, I was attracted to her right away. Yeah, I thought she was attractive right away.
He was a good-looking guy, but I just wasn't too sure about him. What is one piece of advice you would give to a first-time parent?
A first-time parent, I would
Have
just say...
no expectations. That's our... expectations breed disappointment.
I mean, it's impossible to really expect you to do this, but I would say relax.
Yeah.
But you're not going to do it. And then you'll have a second kid, and you'll realize you're way more laid back with the second kid than you were with the first, and it's unavoidable. Yeah, I just don't know how to make you not be that way. I think every first-time parent is the same, but don't worry. Just know this. Every first-time parent seems like they worry about all these things all the time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
What made you decide to become so conscious of how good for you your beauty products are? No harsh chemicals, etc. I think that was a slow shift. Like, we started shifting our eating to organic. We just started I started reading more books and reading more articles, and a lot of it, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, happened with my anxiety. I started realizing that a lot of what I was eating and putting into my body could contribute to anxiety, and I was willing to do anything to get rid of my anxiety. So that's when we started changing our food to organic, limiting like caffeine for myself, not having as much as I was having, and then it just slowly started progressing into my skincare products. I haven't changed over my makeup all the way, or even half the way, but yeah, it started with that. And then the more I read, the more you know, the less you want to use that kind of stuff, you know?
I stopped using all beauty products and like as natural as you can be.
What do we eat in a day? We'll have to make a video, like a what we eat in a day video. How do you guys share chores, or do you do most of the work? Yes, I do most of the work.
I do most of the work.
Jimmy empties the trash, and he does change the guinea pig cage. But that has been a shifting thing throughout our marriage.
It depends what you define as a chore too, though, because we just do different things. Like, I kind of have a routine where I come home from work. Usually, sometimes Summer does this too, though, and it's a blessing. But usually the routine is I'll come home from work, get the kids together, make dinner, and do baths, and get them down to bed. And so I do the bedtime routine normally, and then...
I do all the dishes, the laundry... picking up the house, which you do sometimes, and sometimes we'll do as a family. But we just kind of like fell into what worked for us. Like, he hates doing the dishes, so I hate them too, but not as much as he does. But I don't like doing the trash, so he does the trash. So we just, I mean, I don't know. It's not about being fair. That's the other thing you have to keep in mind, is like, well, I do more than you do, which we do have those conversations sometimes, but just get it done. Like, just, I don't know. I don't think, it's another one of those things where it's like, really, is this worth it? Is it worth fighting about? Just pick the ones that aren't terrible to you and get it done. And then if you have money, get someone to come and clean your house once a month or twice a month and take the load off of both of you. It's worth it. I would give up almost anything except for my hair appointments to pay for someone to come clean our house. Somebody asked about our foster care experience and how do you handle it when they have to leave your home. So we've only fostered one other time, and he was actually adopted by friends of ours, so it was a real like blessing. We were really excited for him, and he's still a part of our life. I can't really speak to how we're gonna feel in this situation because it'll be a very different circumstance. Yeah. So I mean, we really are in this for reunification. We want them to go back to their families. We want a family unit if it can be healthy. And so, I don't know. I think we'll have to answer that question
when it happens. Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. And I think, praise Jesus, we are done. That's it. You did really good. That
wasn't so hard.
Wasn't so hard. We did get really lengthy though, so if you made it through both the videos, because at some point I stopped this video and started it over for a second video. congratulations. I'm very impressed that you watched both of them. We will do...
That made me yawn when you said like long videos. I was just thinking about long videos and I yawned.
But we'll do another separate video of our testimonies because I think that would be really cool to share. Not everybody's going to want to watch that one. So we'll do separate. And then I'll edit that marriage video and get that one up too. That we did a while ago. If you guys want us to do this again in the future, let us know. We'll give it some time because this has been a lot about us. All right, thanks you guys.
It was supposed to be about us though.
I know, but I just feel like that was a lot of...
Are you all embarrassed?
I'm not embarrassed.
Oh.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you guys click that subscribe button and the thumbs up because they're both so helpful for me. He just thinks that is like the most fun thing.
It's over here.
When you watch his videos, subscribe.
Okay.
Okay, that's enough.
But I checked to see where it was.
Did you?
Yeah. It's over there.
Okay, Blake. Okay, stop. That's enough. And then, so make sure you're subscribed and you click the thumbs up, and that's really helpful for me. And then come and find me over on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, honey. And Twitter and Pinterest and all the fun ways we can hang out outside of YouTube. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye. I have a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to jump right in because I have a lot of good stuff. There are months where I don't, but this month there are so many good things in my life. And there's about to be a lot of good things in yours.